Hello class. This how-to video is about the text analysis response, the part 3 of the regions. This is just writing one paragraph about the article from week 1, Hunger and War. So let's go to our week 1 folder, and inside we can go to the central idea paragraph. Okay, so looking at the directions here, please use evidence from the article, The Relationship Between War and Hunger, to complete the following paragraph. Export it to Notability and then upload it as a submission for grading. So here I am to assist you. First, we're going to download this. Okay, and you're going to open it in Notability. Remember, you can pause this recording and any of the recordings at any time. So if you recall, this is the graphic organizer that we use for identifying a central idea. The central idea of a text is the topic of the text plus what the author is saying about that topic. So let's write in here. So let's write in here the topic of the text. So we know that the topic in this case is the title. And so I'm going to write here, Hunger and War. Now I'm going to add to that, but first I'm going to look for details from the text that are going to support my idea about what the author is saying about hunger and war. So now I'm going to go to my article. Bear with me for one moment as I pull up the article. Okay. So here in our opening paragraph, we see that starvation is used as a weapon. And if you recall, in the second paragraph here, it said that the UN said that the use of starvation and food insecurity could not be used as tactics for war. That would be a war crime. So I am going to use that as my evidence over here. So here I'm going to write starvation as a weapon. And I am going to put here another detail from the text. Sorry, this was paragraph 1. And then here, I am going to say that the UN said that using starvation, oops, typo, this should be capital, is a war crime. Okay, now for my additional details, I'm going to use information from the text where they talked about the problems, the conflicts in Yemen and in Syria. So I'm going to go back to my article and I am going to look for details that support that. Let me see here. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say here the Syrian government and its rebel opponents have both used starvation as a military tactic. Okay? And that comes from paragraph 9. Okay. Oops, sorry, folks. So we are going to now look for another detail about food being used as a tactic of war in Yemen. Let's take a look at our article. Okay, in this 10th paragraph, it says that the UN report called the situation in Yemen the worst human-made disaster in modern history. And if we remember, the reason it is human-made, this disaster, is that a Saudi Arabian group has blocked food imports and humanitarian aid to the people in Yemen, causing more than half of them to need food assistance. So let's put that detail in, the worst made human disaster. Okay, and that was in paragraph 10. So now we have 4 details from the text. Starvation as a weapon. The UN said that using starvation would be considered a war crime. We have another detail that says the Syrian government and its rebel opponents have both used starvation as a military tactic, and the UN said the conflict in Yemen is the worst human-made disaster. So if we take these ideas and consider the topic hunger and war, the central idea of the text would be hunger and war is connected because, governments use food insecurity as a war tactic. Okay, now you may use that or you may use your own. You may say that the central idea of the text is that people can withhold food as a form of war, or your own idea. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Oops, that looks messy. Let's move the topic there. Okay, so now let's move to the central idea paragraph. You may recall doing these for rules of the game and also for your I am from home. Okay, so here in the first sentence of your paragraph, you always state the central idea of, and then you write the text name, the relationship between hunger and war by National Geographic Society is that hunger can be used as a weapon against the citizens of a country. But it is a war crime. So you're not allowed to do it. People do it anyway. It is a violation of their human rights to withhold food from one's citizens. According to the text, now this is where we go back to our details. I'm going to say, according to the text, the UN said using starvation is a war crime. Now, this is where we have to explain, well, why is that important? Remember, that came from paragraph 1. This shows that it is a war crime to withhold. This word withhold means to keep from, to keep the food away. To withhold food from one's citizens in a time of war. In addition, the text says, now here I'm going to use the detail about the Syrian government. The Syrian government and its rebel opponents have both used starvation as a military tactic. Okay, so in addition, the text states the Syrian government and its rebel opponents have both used starvation as a military tactic. This demonstrates, now, here's in our own words, what does this show? Well, to me, this shows that although it is a war crime to starve the people of your country, it is being done by many countries, by many governments, including Syria, Yemen, and South Sudan. And in our final sentence, we go back to our central idea, which is that it's being used as a weapon, that hunger is being used as a weapon of war. And so we want to repeat that idea. As you can see, even though it is a crime against humanity, some countries are using starvation as a weapon of war. This must stop. I hope this is helpful to you. I will continue to give these how-tos. So I hope this is helpful. I will continue with these how-to videos. Please give me feedback about what you like and what you don't like, because they are just to help you. So I hope you're well and stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.